Social justice media claims another scalp. This time, it's a Maryland public school social media director who lost her job over a spelling error. A spelling error she corrected. I'm Steve Green with Bill Whittle and Scott Ott, and this is The Right Angle on Frederick County Public Schools' Katie Nash and how she lost her job, brought to you by the paying members of BillWhittle.com. All right, 2 weeks ago, a student named Nathan tweeted, as students do, "Close school tomorrow, please!" But he misspelled tomorrow using a couple of A's where he should have used O's. Now, Katie Nash, using the county's official Twitter handle, made a cute, cheeky little reply. She wrote, "But then how would you learn to spell tomorrow?" You know, like grown-ups do. So district officials ordered Nash to stop tweeting immediately, and then without warning, without counseling, without ever having given her any instruction about what kind of tone she should use on the district's Twitter account, they fired her. Now, Bill, clearly Nash deserved to lose her job because isn't the Frederick County School District correct that special snowflakes cannot be allowed to be exposed to cisnormative spelling?
Not only lose her job, but lose her life as well, Steve. I mean,
Certainly.
there's no higher crime than destroying somebody's delicate self-esteem by, in a joking way, with a smiley face, pointing out that they misspelled the word that they were trying to use to get out of school. You know, we've had so many stories like this where the world is just becoming so unbelievably sensitive and so unbelievably correct and so unbelievably everybody bending over backwards. And I'm just really, every day, I'm more and more happy that I'm not a part of this. I mean, I really am. It's like, I don't care. I could send a tweet like that to somebody, though that kind of was a little, I don't care. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. Scott's segment when we were talking about Congressman Lewis and Donald Trump's remarks coming somewhat close to Martin Luther King Day. I don't care. I'm not gonna run my life around the calendar. I can't make fat jokes now because it's 3 days before Christmas. No. I don't care. So I'm sorry to hear she got fired. I think she took it rather well from what I can remember. And this will not last because it cannot last.
Yeah, Bill, you'll be happy to know that Nathan wasn't offended, and neither were
of course not.
Neither were his parents. But I'm gonna save that for the conclusion. Scott, when I was researching this segment, I came across just story after story of how impossible it is to fire bad public school teachers. Just year after year of not doing their jobs, of giving social promotions to kids who never learned the lessons that the teachers never gave. But thanks to union protections and all the rest, they're allowed to keep committing educational malpractice on kids who have no other recourse. So, Scott, what kind of public education system do we have when Nash would have kept her job had she gone into teaching instead of administration and not taught her students how to spell?
Well, she probably went into administration to escape teaching, which is my experience having worked with in a school district, was that there were all these teachers going to get higher education, ultimately with the goal of getting out of the classroom. And they would all say, basically, I love the kids, but I hate the politics. And they didn't mean ideological politics. They just hate the whole game. And so they thought maybe if they got into administration, at least they'd get a much higher paycheck to put up with that kind of politics. No, the person who should have been fired here is the kid's teacher. I mean, why does this kid? I mean,
That's impossible.
No, that's impossible. That's correct. But that is, ironically, I mean, if I were the superintendent or the principal of that school, I would have set out a note saying, hey, why is it that our social media director is the only one who was able to correct this child's spelling on this test on Twitter here? The fact that there weren't a barrage of retweets of this kid's tweet, basically, subjecting him to open mockery because he says he wants to take a day off school and he can't even spell. I'm hoping that the kid is actually smarter than we all think and was actually making a joke by tweeting the intentional misspelling, but I doubt that that's the case. It is sad when you think about, I hate to be an old man about it, but when you think about how we were treated in school, like the kind of respect that was expected, the kind of performance that was expected, and, if you raised your hand in class and said something stupid, then the teacher it was open season. The teacher was completely able to mock you for that stupidity. Why not be able to make a very gentle remark on Twitter and keep your job?
Yeah, a social media platform where the kids actually pay attention, unlike in the classroom all too often. As I said, Nathan took Nash's side. So did his parents, and a bunch of other students took to Twitter to defend her. I doubt that'll get Nash her job back, but it's good to know that the students and the parents of Frederick County aren't nearly as stupid and craven as the school district administrators. Now, my wife and I, we have two boys attending public school, one in fifth grade, the other in first. So we've had a half dozen or more of those parent-teacher meetings that you have at the start of each school year. And every time, Melissa and I tell the teacher the same thing, that we believe education sometimes has to be a conspiracy between the teacher and the parents to get kids to do stuff that most kids just rightly don't want to do. And every time we've said this, the teacher has looked at us with this sense of relief, the knowledge that we don't want to raise or educate any precious snowflakes. So if you want your kids to get educated, don't be afraid to empower their teachers. And if they go to public school, maybe the best thing you can do is empower the teacher, or to empower the teachers, is to try and neuter the administrators. So get involved and stay that way, and everyone's child will have a brighter tomorrow. And that's Right Angle on Katie Nash. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.